Small town, big heart, building dreams that always fall apart. Slow days, fast cars, nowhere to go, so we stay where we are. There's only one way in and one way out. Seems like it's always cloudy in this town. I'll find sunshine in the rain. I'll let the storm wash me away to the other side of that one-stop sign. We've been scared of our whole lives. I'll find hope in lonely days. I'll find sunshine in the rain. Dad's gone, 9 to 5. Works real hard, keeping on the lights of that neon sign. Mom's glued to the TV. All her answers laid out on the screen, watching Jeopardy. The weather lady's nowhere to be found, 'cause it's always cloudy in this town. I'll find sunshine in the rain. I'll let the storm wash me away to the other side of that one-stop sign. We've been scared of our whole lives. I'll find hope in lonely days. I'll find sunshine in the rain. Everywhere I look is black and white, but I've been chasing rainbows my whole life, 'cause I see sunshine in the rain. I'll let the storm wash me away to the other side of that one-stop sign. I've been scared of my whole life. I find hope in lonely days. I find hope in lonely days.
Puro brillo, brillo, brillo. Desde que te fuiste, puro brillo. Ahora estoy bien fresh y solo brillo. Nada me tropieza, esto solo empieza. Porque brillo, brillo, brillo. Más feliz sin ti es mucho brillo. Me siento bien linda y solo brillo. De dentro para afuera, brillo a mi manera. Cuando me miro en el espejo, le tiro besitos a mi propio reflejo. Ay, qué bonito empezar de cero, pero esta vez con el pie derecho. Y si me tira mala vibra, bye bye, que pa' lo héroe ya no tengo ni time. Estoy en Barcelona pasando la guay. Vivir así se siente bien nice. Y si me tira mala vibra, bye bye, que pa' lo héroe no tengo ni time. Estoy en Barcelona pasando la guay. Yeah, yeah. Porque brillo, brillo, brillo. Desde que te fuiste, puro brillo. Ahora estoy bien fresh y solo brillo. Nada me tropieza, esto solo empieza. Porque brillo, brillo, brillo. Más feliz sin ti es mucho brillo. Me siento bien linda y solo brillo. De dentro para afuera, brillo a mi manera.
You know, they're not that far removed from junior, and it's been a cohesive unit as well to start this year. So, I mean, the players can't just be cohesive, the coaches need to be as well. And we've got that good mix on the coaching staff. We got the good mix with the players. And, you know, I took 3 years off from coaching, so my first couple times back on the ice, I took it a little,
Even
little
rusty for
gingerly,
you.
you know, a little gingerly out there. But now I'm starting to wheel around on the ice. The boys are seeing that, hey, the old man can skate.
The old man can
skate.
The old man can move,
yes,
right?
but you don't do bag skates in the practice. You say you don't believe in that stuff. Eh?
You know, there's an example of kind of the old school mentality, right? I mean, are we going to skate guys because their passing's off? No, we're going to work on passing.
Right.
You know, but there's other ways to, you know, and the boys know. Boys know when it's a bagger day. It's probably going to be a battle drills. You know, you're competing.
What's a battle drill? One-on-one?
One-on-ones, you know, we got a couple drills that we use, 1v1 at one end for 30 seconds, blow the whistle. They got to skate all the way to the other end and do it for another 30 seconds. So it's game situation, and it's getting them ready for those shifts on the ice.
What's I'm gonna ask Jacob first here. What's harder, keeping the team motivated when you're winning? I'm talking when you go in the dressing room at the end of the period. Say you're winning 5-1 after one. Is it harder to keep the team motivated because you're winning and you don't want to let it go, or harder to get the team motivated if you're down 5-1?
That's tough.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you're up 5-1 or something like that, the boys just want to go there, get some points.
It's a stats night.
Yeah.
It's a stats night.
Yeah.
Just trying to play for themselves. When you're down, it's hard to get each other up. Depends how much. Like if it's 2-1, it's easy to get the boys going because they want to win.
Yeah.
And I think probably when you're down a few, it's probably easier to get them going.
Yeah, that's right. Because sometimes if you get that goal differential, especially when you're up, like you're a Leaf fan, you know, Kinsman, always letting your foot off the gas.
The foot off the gas.
That's right. Are those learning lessons you would take like from last year, Sean? Do you look at different scenarios? Okay, this game we had a big lead or we have a big deficit. This is what worked. This is what different. This is what didn't.
No, last year was last year.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a new season. We've come in with a new attitude, with a new approach. We saw our big brothers across the hallway win a championship.
Yeah,
We
that's
saw
right.
what it took for them to do it. And we want the same feeling in our room. We want two teams in Timmins that are going to make this city proud in the hockey world. And, you know, so it's not about focusing on what we did or didn't do last year. It's here's what we have now.
Yeah.
And, you know, what happened throughout the preseason, you know, we've gone over video. We're going to sit down with the boys. We'll go through the video and make sure things are cleaned up and we're ready to go to get the first 2 points of the year on opening night.
Yeah, opening night, and again, you guys face off against who? Is it big arch rivals in the league?
Oh yeah, Caps and Flyers.
Might be even more bigger. He was born in Kapuskasing.
Oh, okay.
No?
No, my dad was. My
His
parents
dad was
were.
born in
Dad was born-
Kapuskasing, so that's a big one for him.
But
gonna be a big
you have
night.
ties in Cap,
Yeah,
right?
lots.
You have some, possibly maybe even family still there. I don't know.
Oh,
but
yeah, I got lots of
Yeah.
family there.
And they'll be making the trip down to
Yeah, for
watch
sure.
the game.
yeah.
We got
Grandma
a lot
and
of-
Grandpa run the canteen, don't they?
Yep.
At the arena.
Okay,
Yeah.
a lot of ties in Caps. So that does that get you extra juiced for the game?
Yeah, I got a lot of family watching, so I got to perform. Can't
That's
let
right.
them down.
Yeah. Who's more scary to let down? Would it be Grandma or Mom?
Grandma.
Yeah,
Sure,
of
oh,
course.
yeah. Mom
Grandma
gets
is
to see me all the time. She doesn't get to see me.
Those are those old hardcore hockey
Yes,
bums, right?
yes,
you know?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Well, hey, it's going to be awesome, and like you were mentioning there, Mark, the 29th
29th.
home opener.
Yeah, the home opener. And
that's
again, I don't know, Sean, from previous years, what's a good attendance? What are you looking for to get into that McIntyre
Well,
for Friday night?
you know what? It's been up and down over the years, obviously. But if our 2 preseason games say anything, I mean, we had some good turnouts, and obviously we'd like to see as many fans in the stands. Home opener, one lucky fan will be going home with an iPad.
Wow.
So we will be raffling off an iPad
nice.
in the home opener, as well as a player from each team will get a game MVP, and they'll win an iPad as well. So
Wow.
Truth and Reconciliation Night,
Yes,
as you talked
Truth and
about.
Reconciliation.
You know, every child matters. Orange shirt night, so we
you
encourage
encourage
people
to wear orange.
to wear orange. You know, and it's part of us giving back to the community, right? That's what we want to see from these guys. We talked about it last night in the room when we had our team meeting. You know, getting back out there and giving back to the community, and this is part of it here. And you know, it's not just the hockey part; it's the life lessons that they got to learn along the way.
Excellent. And yeah, we can't wait for next Friday night to see the majors in action, taking on Kapuskasing. What is a ticket situation? How do they buy? How do fans get them at the gate, or
Just
can
at
they
the
buy
door.
them online?
Yeah.
Just at the door.
Just
You'll
at the
see
door.
Audrey there, like she's been for
Yeah.
30-something years.
Audrey's the best.
And, you know, she'll gladly take your money and give you a smile. And, you know, she's been involved with the majors for 30 years. And, I mean, hockey doesn't happen without volunteers like Audrey. I mean,
No,
it's
a lot
just
of helpers behind
you
the
know,
scenes.
there's so many things that go on behind the scenes. Whether it be Audrey looking after that aspect and the financials and everything for the team, or you know, Randy Beard, who's our equipment manager, making sure that everything's ready for the boys. Jerseys are hung up for practices. Everything's washed. Everything's clean. And then, you know, of course, there's a board behind it that, you know, do a lot of work, including the calendar that we'll talk about at some point here. And,
Yeah.
you know, put a lot of work into it. And then you got the billet families, because we do have quite a few players from out of town this year that,
We
you
have
know,
an
required
example
billet
here,
houses.
right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
So-
Billet Brothers,
yes.
right
Yeah.
here.
We got a billet mom in the house even.
Billet
Yeah,
mom.
we got a mom watching behind the scenes here.
We can't turn the camera over, but we do see Billet Mom. Billet Mom's awesome.
Billet Mom is smiling ear to ear here.
But let's chat about the billet experience, because you know at a young age to move out of home, like we weren't ready, Kins. We couldn't even make a peanut butter sandwich.
No,
over home.
it's
So
tough.
We would have been
It's
lost.
tough.
But is that a whole different scenario? Is it exciting? Is it scary? Is it mix of everything?
Personally, I find it pretty exciting.
Yeah.
Like I'll still like my mom wants me to call her every night, so I
Yeah,
call my
yeah,
mom
call
every
mom,
night
yes.
before I go to bed. Yeah.
You better say hi right now.
Yeah. Hey, mom.
Your mom is tuning in.
Yeah, I know she's watching. She told me. Yeah. So yeah, it's been really exciting. Like everything's good, and I'm not shy. I know them, right? They're really good people. Super good. They make my lunch every morning before school. Right?
Oh wow.
Everything. I get rides to school with Jacob, obviously. Rides to hockey. Ride
You're
home.
part of the family.
Yeah. They treat me
Yeah,
like
they treat you
he
just
treats me
like
like his brother. And
one-
he treats
one
me
of their
like
own.
his son. It's perfect.
I might
That's
move in this
amazing.
home here. We get lunches packed all the
That's
time.
it.
Yeah, that's
You got room for one more?
You
Yeah,
cut, you cut the
that's
crust
right.
off. Okay, we'll ask mom. You cut the crust off
Yeah.
Klomp sandwich.
Yeah.
Just on the grilled cheese.
Oh, on the grill. Yeah, we got all the perks. But it's a whole different scenario. Do you feel like, does that affect your hockey performance in a positive way, because you're playing outside of home, or makes no difference? Hockey is hockey no matter where you go.
So far, I feel more confident personally.
Yeah.
Like I just feel less pressure because like I play and I don't know anyone in the stands, right? So I
Right.
don't feel like anyone's really watching me. Like if you know someone's playing, you're gonna watch them, right?
They're not heckling you yet.
exactly.
They don't know you.
If I don't
yet.
know anyone, I'm not being watched too much. Like
Yeah.
obviously, there's still people watching because I'm new, right? There'll be people, oh, who's this new guy? But it's so far, I feel a lot better than I did last year.
Now, is mom going to make the trip to Timmins to watch the home opener
Yes,
next
she
week?
made the
course.
trip to New Liskard for our
Yes.
first exhibition game. So
You never mess with hockey moms, can you?
No.
Yes, no, thank you very much for having us on. I'm Nick Oldreeve. I'm the executive director and co-founder of Please Bring Me Home. That was really formed with this idea that more can be done and should be done to bring missing people home.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And some, going through your web page and looking at the list of missing people, some of these families and friends, these people have been suffering with no information, some people for decades. And I cannot even imagine being in those shoes, wondering what's happened to someone that you loved.
Yeah, and I think that's what makes Please Bring Me Home unique, is because you build that relationship with the family, and you come up with some of the most outlandish ideas. But I think what becomes consistent is that we don't stop until the individual comes back home, and we really put it out front on the media, and we do searches, and there's always something that should be done, and that, from what I have seen and observed, means everything to the families and the friends of the missing.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And even if they don't pull up information from one search, they must have at least a small sense of comfort knowing that there's people out there that care.
Absolutely.
Yeah, a big difference. And, bringing even a small sense of hope.
Little sense of hope,
to find
you know.
closure,
Yeah, to bring closure to these families. It just must be devastating, some of the stories and the cold cases that you're currently combing through. Hopefully some light at the end of the tunnel. You never know. It could take one anonymous tip. Yeah, you never know when that tip's going to come in, but it could come in anytime. And again, this is why you guys and gals do what you do with Please Bring Me Home.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So maybe we have a lot of different guests tonight, and we are going to talk to a couple folks who could talk specifically about cases in our area and how community members can help out. and maybe we'll chat with Carrie for a second. Being part of this organization, Carrie, it is one of the greatest ways to help fellow citizens and families. It's an awesome way to give back. What drove you to the Please Bring Me Home group?
Wow, you said it extremely well. It is an honor, and we consider it that every day. Number one, we have the honor of knowing these families who are going through such a tragic and traumatic time of their life. So their loved one, they don't know if their loved one is alive. Have they passed? Are they hungry? Are they cold? Are they somewhere and can't get a hold of their family? There's so many unknowns. And that losing someone through death is tragic enough. But when you lose someone and they're missing and there's so many unanswered questions, it's just heartbreaking what these families go through. What led me to Please Bring Me Home? I've had a history of investigative career in different umbrellas, some more corporate, some more, foreign. And about 3 years ago, my family's originally from the Owen Sound area, and I read some stuff about Nick. And I thought, well, I'm going to reach out and just see kind of where they're at, what they're thinking, what they need. And Nick was immediately, hey, join us. We need help. This is what we have. We're getting a ton of cases. He was extremely welcoming. And immediately I had my first case. And that case, thankfully, we're able to close that case. And, we have this year alone been able to close 4 cases, which is significant. We're not just an organization that posts something and says, hey, have you seen them? Or send us a tip, albeit that is an important component to what our organization does. But we investigate and we search. So we don't just take the information and post it, we do the work behind it. So we have different components of Please Bring Me Home. I oversee the intake and operations for searching. But we have Nick who holds the role as well as executive director. Nat and Julie, who are with us here, they're both investigators and longtime investigators with Please Bring Me Home. And they do a lot of our work, Sudbury and Timmins area. So yeah, that's how I got here. But to your point, every day, I can't say it's easy. We're all volunteers. We don't get paid for anything. The payment we get is through those relationships with families and locating loved ones.
Absolutely.
Yeah, one of the interesting things, and I assume I may be right on this, and I'm not right too often, so correct me if I'm wrong, but you can watch a true crime documentary on Netflix, and whether it's something that you feel involved with at the moment.
Yeah.
But it's just a form of something to watch.
Yeah.
You folks are directly, in most cases, involved with the families.
Yeah.
In real scenarios. So it's not just a television program. And that must drive you because you know them as the families and friends as individuals.
Mhm.
And you hear the personal stories, whether it's through messages or phone calls or emails, whatever it may be. And to me, that's a complete difference than just watching a true crime document because you have a connection to it. And I assume all the members of the group, that must motivate them to continue because you said it is a volunteer position. I assume everyone, has jobs, they have families, they have lives, but this is a volunteer role, but it motivates you to keep going because you've established a connection with these individual people who are suffering.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And that's where the honor comes in, right? Is we now live this story with them. True crime is very popular. There's so many avenues to be part of true crime, whether it's through books or reading or TV shows. And people are wowed with it from the comfort of their home. Whereas these families, as soon as that file or that police file is placed on a shelf, and the police are at the point where they have to say, hey, we're just waiting for tips, we have nothing to go on. That's when we have the honor of stepping in with the family and saying, okay, let's get down on this. Let's start looking. Let's start soliciting tips. Let's start creating that noise. Create, like Nick said earlier about, tips. We're a safe environment for tips to come in. You can come to us from an anonymous perspective. You can come with your name if you want, but tell us, I don't want my name used, but I have this information. And that's huge in this organization where a lot of people won't go to the police, but they'll come to us. So our goal is to find the loved ones.
All right, Kinsman.
Yeah, here we are.
The best hair awards go to Trisha, number 1.
Yeah.
Oh,
Me, number 2.
And I'm wearing a hat.
Yeah,
so
why wear hats,
I
Kinsman?
always
God,
wear a
it's so
hat.
unprofessional
I
to wear a hat
always
on
wear
a
a
show.
hat. No,
right,
it's
Trisha?
not.
yeah.
He
it's
should
true.
be
You
showing
always
his
wear a
hair.
hat.
Like,
Yeah.
who'd ever wear a hat?
Talking from the bald guy just a week ago.
That's right. Who'd
You,
ever
you
wear
wore a hat for 40 years.
Show some professionalism here on the show, okay? We have a great guest in wearing a
Yeah,
hat.
we do. I always wear my hat. It's a, I don't know, as they say, it's a crutch.
That's right.
Everybody's saying hello, everyone. There, Louise has covered all the hellos. She said
Yes.
hello, everyone.
Yeah.
There you go.
And
Yeah,
Trisha's here not only as our awesome guest, she's also doing a performance review on Ronnie tonight. And Ronnie got nervous.
He got nervous.
Yeah, she has her clipboard
That's
out there.
it. Normally,
Kinsman.
normally she's on the other side
Yeah.
throwing the hellos this way, but now she's here throwing the
Yeah.
hellos and throwing
Yes.
the death stare to Ronnie from
Yeah.
here.
Before we get
Yeah.
into all the goods, tell them
Yeah.
about the prize. there,
Yes,
Kinsman.
Midtown Bowl, another amazing gift certificate tonight. It's 2 Rockin' Bowls, and to add to this pass, 2 $10 arcade passes. So $20 to the winner, and of course a free night of bowling on us.
That's right.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's
Kid-
exciting.
And
is.
Kinsman showing off his new hoodie.
Yeah, those
Yeah.
are really nice.
Yeah, they are
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
Yes, they are.
Have you spilt anything on
I
it
have
yet?
not spilt anything. Well, now you just jinxed it.
Yeah, that's-
Yeah,
Haven't had
you're
any
done
wings
for
on
now.
it yet.
He's hiding that unhealthy rock star
Oh,
under the
come on.
table.
The
He's
rock
going to
star
spill
on
that
the
on.
table.
Take a sip. Let's see it spill, Kinsman.
No spilling of anything.
Yeah, that's right.
Underneath the table.
Oh,
But
man.
yeah, shout out to the Nicolaus, Tom and Gina. They
Yeah, that's
they
right.
hooked us up back on Saturday night.
Yeah.
So nice to see the new store merch.
Ronnie's is stained already, we hear. Ronnie's white hoodie. What'd you do, Ronnie?
No,
Spilt a hot dog on it
no,
at the
I
back.
I washed it and it's all gone.
He's stained already.
Stained
Kinsman.
it already.
Well, you know what? You can't. I can't be trusted around white either.
Must be the relish.
It must be the relish. Always blame the relish.
Yeah,
Yeah.
relish always just
Yeah.
rolls off your hot dog, I find.
It's usually the
Good.
ketchup,
Yeah.
mustard,
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Any
So,
condiment.
if you're watching the show, like I know about, everyone knows Trisha. Trisha's been an amazing supporter of us since day one.
Yeah,
Me since day one. She warmed up the Kinsman later on, but we're a supporter of both of us now.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
I had to give you that $50.
Yeah, yeah.
$50 to laugh at anything I threw at you.
Yeah, that's right. Trisha
anyhow.
loves the dad jokes. But you had a pretty traumatic experience a little while back, and you wanted to chat about it.
Yeah.
And then we're also going to chat about your amazing business, helping people get their beauty shine.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Their beauty, their hair,
Yeah.
Yeah, even you, Klomp.
their beards,
Their
whatever
beards,
you want.
Kinsman, that's
yeah.
right. He
yeah.
lets
Right,
that
beards.
beard go, I find.
Yeah.
You got to give
We got
himself
stuff
a nice
for
trim.
beards too. It
Yeah.
smells really good.
what do
Austin
you
uses
talk
it.
You got to
about
have a
letting
nice
it
trim,
grow.
right?
Yeah.
You, gotta
No,
have a-
it's
Yeah.
nice.
you need
right
to go
now.
see Chris Costa.
Yeah,
I
Chris
do.
has got to
go see
hook you
Costigan.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
And the crew.
So what I think we should do is let's get the video played there, Ronnie. And it's something that, really terrifying that happened to you. And I definitely want, you don't have to remove that, Ronnie. You just play the video and then it'll be self-explanatory and then we're going to chat about it.
Yeah,
Sound good?
Okay.
absolutely.
All right, Ronnie.
My car's on fire, guys. I don't know. My check engine light came on, my stability check light and everything came on, and now she's gone. She's fucking gone.
Pretty.
Yeah,
I know
pretty
you're laughing
traumatic
now,
Yeah.
but
Wow.
because things worked out. But at that moment, they obviously hear it in your voice.
Oh, yeah.
Your car's on fire. So the first thing going through my head, you made it out safely.
Well,
Yes,
that's
pretty
the
I'm
main
here.
thing.
I'm
Yeah,
here.
That's it. You're here.
you.
You could have
Yeah.
been driving, on the highway somewhere and have that combust like that
Yeah.
instantly. So
It was a very scary afternoon. It was
Yeah,
June
no
11th that actually happened, and I had no idea what was going on. I know that I had done some previous maintenance to my car. We've gone to OK Tire a few times. We even went to the engine clinic. Real, we love you. in South End. And Norm, actually, Joanne's husband, I know a few times he's worked on my car to get some stuff done to it. So I appreciate that. But yeah, I had no idea what was going to occur, obviously, like who prepares for something like that. I was basically going home to bring Austin a coffee, and I was at the light, the 655-101 highway, and I went to push my gas on the car, and it didn't want to go, like it struggled so hard. And then all of a sudden I look in my rear view and there's a big puff of black smoke coming out.
No kidding.
And I just was beside myself. I kind of giggled and was like, oh, sorry for the guy behind you. Like, I don't know who it was. So, but I kind of giggled at first, but then all my dashboard lights came on. My check engine light was flashing. Numerous other things popped up. So I was frantic and, okay, I'm going to pull over and see what the heck's going on. Pulled over, turned off my car. Keys were still in the ignition. And I called my beautiful neighbor, Joanne, to help me go through a little anxiety attack that I was going through. And then, of course, it just developed into this. So basically, I'm on the phone with her, and I look at my hood of my car on the driver's side where the battery and the fuse box is located of my car for a 2015 Chevy Cruze. And I started seeing the smoke just start fumigating out from the crack. And I was like, Joanne, my car is smoking. She's like, okay, like you shouldn't be in the car. And then by the end of it, I looked over, and inside the car, in the glove compartment, the fire smoke was starting to come inside the car. And that's when the panic set in, and the scariness of everything was even more so. But yeah, I got out of the car, went on the highway. I was flaring my arms to get help for just any bystanders that are driving around. And luckily I had two gentlemen pull over. The one guy, he seemed really calm, collective, like, thank you again for that. And it definitely helped me, transition from the shock and everything of, okay, like I still have stuff in my car that I have to retrieve out. So he helped me get my stuff out. I had work stuff in there. I had my safety gear here. And then, of course, your personal belongings like wallet, money,
insurance
ID.
and everything.
Yeah,
And the glove box is gone.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it was, with pictures, the whole windshield basically melted from the fire, from the flame of how hot it was.
So one of the things I like that you're doing now, like you came on to talk a little bit about, car safety. So no one expects when they're driving to work that their car is going to catch on fire.
Yeah.
And there may be some early indicators, but you mentioned like the whole dashboard started blinking beforehand.
Yeah.
And this reminds me anytime you see some sort of like disaster movie, like on a plane or something, you see that.
Yeah.
So maybe that's one of the indicators. There's no way to ever know for sure.
Absolutely
But
not.
it looks like the car was giving you some sort of warning
Yeah.
that things are going to go completely wrong. Because usually you could have a light or two blinking, always the engine light.
But all
in a
the
mild
lights
car.
came on.
But
Yeah.
this is going wild, right?
Yeah, it was like a Christmas tree. Everything lit up and everything. Because I had also, with the newer type of car that I had the digital screen in the center where the speedometer and the RPM meter were. So like, it wasn't just flashing one thing, it was numerous things flashing up on there before I turned off the car and everything. So I just knew instantly something was really wrong.
Yeah.
Now, did
Really crazy,
the
yeah.
car company ever get back to you and say that this was a common trait with the 2015 Cruze?
Yeah, so I do know, and I feel bad for any people that out there still own a Chevy Cruze.
I owned one.
So who still own one right now
Yeah.
and still physically drive one, please make sure that you keep an eye on your coolant levels and definitely your oil. I've heard lots of issues with coolant reservoir issues, lots of coolant leaks with the Chevy Cruze. So it could have sparked from there, but it could have also sparked from another section within the engine. I know the Schumacher Fire Department, thank you again for coming to my rescue. They came and they had to use foam to get the fire put out because that's what they do for a car fire. They don't do water because the water is not going to put the fire out, especially if it's regarding or on with electrical fires. Electrical fires are way worse than your typical just gas fire, that kind of thing. So they use the foam. They even had to use a retractor device to hold open my hood because of the hood front end was basically like just gone. I even lost one of my personalized license plates too with the fire,
well, the
so I had
fire's
to
so
get
hot.
that. Yeah.
It's amazing how quick it can
Oh yeah.
engulf.
It's huge. But the really cool thing, like I know at the end of the day, it worked out well. You're able to get yourself in a new vehicle.
Yeah.
Yes.
Obviously, still traumatizing,
And you
but
can still talk about the story.
Yes.
you can talk about.
Yeah.
But the big part is car safety. So,
Absolutely.
so you carry this awesome kit.
Yes.
I'm going to count how many of these things I have in my car. It's going to be low. But what is in this bag here?
So basically in this bag, I got this at your local Walmart. You can get one at Canadian Tire. I'm sure even your own dealerships would sell car emergency kits as
safety
well.
kits.
Did you want to open it up and show us what's in
Yeah.
there?
So it's awesome. It's got Velcro on the bottom, so if you have like a liner in the car where it can stick to it, and then it won't move around inside the car, which is nice.
All
So
right. So this is a car
Yep.
safety kit.
so you get your
window
emergency.
scraper.
Let me put that up nice and close for you there.
You got
so-
a nice emergency scraper.
Yeah.
Yes.
You got yourself a shovel. Does have the handle inside. So
Nice.
your emergency shovel. So if you get put in the ditch for whatever reason or you get stuck, I always suggest as well, if you're able to have cat litter in your car or vehicle or even a
That's
sandbag.
what they say, yeah.
Yeah,
Put the
so
cat litter in there.
if you're stuck anywhere, of course, if you have someone, a good friend that has a vehicle, truck of some kind. I know last winter I accidentally took the Y a little bit too much and I hit the snowbank, but luckily there was a guy that came and pulled me right out, so that was good.
Yep.
Your jumper cables, those are very important. I know for me, the last year for my car, I had to jumper cable my car a few times in the winter last year, which was kind of crazy because I've been dealing with my car not too bad with the winter. Of course, your gloves,
Yeah, there we
Yeah,
go. Yeah.
gloves come
trusty
in.
gloves,
Kinsman always has his dad gloves
yeah.
on, so you're already.
an
Oh, my
emergency
dad gloves.
an emergency blanket, so
yeah,
keep
look
you
at that.
warm. So if you're stuck on the highway, also another great tip that I actually endured in one of my past relationships. Keep a old snowmobile winter gear
Okay.
and boots in your
Oh, yeah.
vehicle. So when you're
That is a good
traveling
idea, yeah.
somewhere, it's,
You
you
get
know,
stuck somewhere, you've got the
exactly,
warmth of a
you're gonna be
snowmobile
warm.
suit.
Yeah.
Yeah, good idea.
So, and it'll be already in the car, so you can get warm that way. Very nice. Yeah, so like I told you, the handles here, just mantle it together when you want to use it.
That's the handles for the shovel right
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
That's
Look at
it.
these, Kinsman. You can come to my house and shovel my driveway too.
That's pretty small.
It took you a few hours.
I want
to
to
get
make
through
things
your-
hard on him.
Your yard with that.
Yeah.
Kinsman's there, it's yakking our guests' ear off. trying to
Yakking our
distract
guest
her.
ears.
See
Yeah,
what he did?
we almost missed.
You know,
the countdown.
You know, when I give Mark
Almost
a little
missed
bit of rope, you know, he takes it for miles. So I
Oh,
got to
well.
tighten things up
That's it.
around here. You know, I
things
really
up.
do. I'm
Look
I'm
at
learning
all
a
the confidence he's talking now with that new head of hair over there.
Yes, yes.
Look at him.
I have a lot of confidence, as they say. But it is another beautiful night.
It is.
It's a split show, Kinsman. We have the amazing folks from the Kidney Foundation here.
Yes, and then second half, we're going to be joined with Dare Timmins to talk about their Dare Timmins classes, which are coming up next week.
That's right. But why don't we introduce our guests that are here with us right now?
Yes, on the screen from Toronto, we've got Craig Lindsay. Hi, Craig. Thanks for joining us.
Gentlemen, Marlene, nice to be here.
That's
and
right.
in studio, we've got Marlene Smith, who's joining us. She's the
Yes.
president of the Timmins Porcupine chapter and also head of the Ontario board. Or
No, I sit on the
Oh,
Ontario
she
board.
sits on the Ontario board.
Yes. Kinsman.
I was putting you up on a higher pedestal.
Well, and
but,
plus-
that's still pretty cool.
And plus, Marlene knows everything what happens in South End.
She does.
She really does. That's right. My home, Kinsman.
She knows your home
That's
turf.
right.
And it's great to have these
Yeah.
two wonderful people here to talk to us because we're here to talk about the kidney walk.
Yes,
coming up on Sunday.
A beautiful event, which we hope the community shows up for. It's going to be outstanding. We are walking in recognition of my son, Hudson
your little
Klomp.
boy Hudson Klomp.
That's right.
Yeah.
And other people are going to choose who they can in memory of, or in dedication, or in recognition of. It's going to be quite the beautiful day. But I thought we would start with Craig, and if he can, if he's willing to provide a little bit of an introduction of the walk and what it means to the Kidney Foundation and the people that participate. And if he has a history lesson, even better.
Yes, that's right. PowerPoint, Craig. The floor is yours, my man.
Thanks, guys. I'm excited every year to talk about the Kidney Walk. It is, for the Kidney Foundation, the one biggest event that we start getting excited about way back, well, even in January and February. Just to be clear, the Kidney Foundation receives no government funding. Every dollar we give out, every resource we share, every time we support people, it's because of events like the Kidney Walk. And Timmins is just one of many. Every weekend in September, people get together to walk in communities just like Timmins, and the funds they raise support the foundation to do all their amazing work throughout the year. I came to the Kidney Foundation. I was invited to a walk when my kidneys failed. I didn't know what the foundation did. I didn't know what the walk was, but I understood it was a place that I could be with other people like me. It was the first time I really felt part of a community. Standing in a park with a bunch of people affected by kidney disease made me and my family feel really part of a larger supportive community. And I know it's just like that in Timmins.
It really is. And two things that really struck out in your introduction, Craig, is number one, and I'm sure this has been discussed multiple times in your end, is, no government funding on,
Which is ridiculous when you think.
And ever since, my son was been born with one kidney and potential, I'll just paraphrase it, issues with the one kidney, I've got to realize about how many different individuals and families have been affected. It affects so many people in our community, in our province, across the country. So without the funding, you need the ability to provide assistance or guidance to people who are going to need it at some point in their life. And that's why these walks are they're so important in many ways.
You're absolutely right. And we know people living with kidney disease, a lot of them don't work. Kidney disease can be really hard on your health, your level of energy. But we say to people, come out anyways. Your community needs you just to step up and be there and to give a face to kidney disease. You're right. 1 in 10 Canadians we know live with kidney disease. I'm looking at you. I'm thinking of my own journey. I worry about the people that aren't connected, that don't know about the walk, that don't know there are resources out there that don't know they can come and, exist, be in space with people who worry about the same things. It's great that, Marlene and the Timmins Porcupine chapter are executing a watch. It's going to be an exciting walk on Sunday.
It sure will be. And, you said no government funding. Now, each year for these walks, what, does the Kidney Foundation, do you have a wish list that you would like to check off a few items? Where would you like to see this year's walk money go? If you had a magic number, where would we want to be on Sunday come the end of that walk?
Well, I mean, the Kidney Foundation is all about some core programs. One of them I've briefly alluded to. It's simply putting money in people's pockets when they're having trouble paying for medication or paying a higher than normal electric bill or buying the groceries to start eating a more renal friendly or kidney friendly diet. It's putting money right in the hands of people in Timmins who need it. But it's also about education. It's having patient manuals and books and brochures and cookbooks and things that help them better self-manage, protect their health. Some of it goes to research. And I know that while that doesn't happen in Timmins, some of the money that goes to research funds really smart people in the research world in Canada that in turn create better care. They find ways to make transplants last longer. They find ways to diagnose kidney disease, to live a longer life without even maybe needing dialysis. So I would say the money in the hands of people who need it, information and research. That's why I'm walking with my family.
And this walk is dedicated to so many people. And if I look at Tash Wood's comment, just one up there, Ronnie, Tash Wood, Ronnie. My brother passed the other day. So first of all, our deepest condolences to you, Tash, and donated, such an amazing gift to provide. So it's just not people who are affected by kidney disease. It's their family. It's to the people that donate, the people that make these amazing gifts to assist fellow family members, friends, community members, people that they've never met. Like that's extremely, like to me, that's a hero right there.
That's the hero. They say heroes don't wear capes.
Yes.
And again, that's the greatest gift anyone on this planet could give.
Yeah.
Is being a donor and donating to.
That's right. And
such a precious gift.
And the other point, Craig, I love how the thought process and the distribution of money, because of course there's the medical costs. But then there's all these other things, right? I may be off work, but the mortgage bill still comes, the electricity bill still comes, the hydro bill still comes.
Life still continues.
I may not be able to afford grocery bills are astoundingly high, and now I want to eat healthy. All these other things that really exuberate the costs, and I love how the Kidney Foundation steps out to help. Every individual is different, but there's not just one template for one individual.
You said it so well, Jamie. Living with a chronic incurable disease is stressful. If we can chip away at some of those other stresses, can I feed my family this month? Will I be able to put gas in the car to go to dialysis? It's hard living with a chronic disease. The Kidney Foundation, I believe, is making, I hope, a little progress in making it a little less stressful, a little more reason to have hope. I love when I go to the walks and there are these stickers, these banners people stick on their chests saying, "Hi, I'm Craig and I'm walking for," and I love to see who people are walking for. It could be a spouse, it could be a child, it could be a parent, it could be someone, as your listener indicated, someone who bravely lived with kidney disease. And when we see those names, that's really meaningful to me. I get to think about someone like me who lived a brave life with kidney disease.
So when we see a comment such as Trisha's a beautiful member of our community, by the way, in the fact that she's always giving back. And when she said, "I would love to donate my one kidney to someone that needs it." So if someone wants to be a donor, is the first step to go to the web page? Is it a phone number? What would be the first step for Tricia here?
You just described it. You go to the website at kidney.ca. There's a toll-free number, and this is just one of the many types of calls we get every day. Someone like Tricia who says, I've been thinking about this. I would like to do something. We answer questions like this all the time. We don't do transplants. We don't plan them. We don't give out kidneys, but we know the people who do, and we can certainly talk people through it. This is how it's going to unfold, and this is what you can expect. And I'm really proud too that when you walk for the Kidney Foundation, you fund peer support. If this person would like to speak to someone perhaps who has donated a kidney, what a great gift to be able to talk to someone who's actually done it themselves. It's something you don't know until you've actually done it. So yeah, go to kidney.ca, call the toll-free number. You'll get a pair of compassionate, empathetic ears.
Yeah, that's great. And a key point, you're gonna speak with people who have
been there,
with
are
kidney
currently
disease.
living with it as yourself.
Just like that, Kinsman.
And we
What
are
magic.
back, and
Look how many friends we have tonight.
We've got
Can
a
you
lot of
believe it?
friends. Yeah, Kidney
Yeah.
Foundation first half of the
Yeah.
show. Craig
Are
and
we
Marlene
friends?
joined us.
We're friends.
Now Dare
with
Timmons joining us, and yeah, we've got some friends joining us again. We got Francine Dennis and Rick Lemieux joining us from Dare Timmons.
Rick's
and
gonna ask for
the
a
Dare Timmons
paycheck
classes.
soon. He's on here often.
He is. He's a regular, and again, we love seeing Rick in here. And people love knowing that the Dare Timmons classes, out of school, but you can still take the classes at the Timmons Public Library, and that's what we're.
Can you
here
tell
talking
Kinsman
about.
drank 3 monsters today, or what?
I don't.
I know. It's like,
How much time do we have? How much time do we have?
He's just happy. We're gonna get Ronnie to take down the name and put up the overlay. The good man there, Ronnie. We're all gonna watch him do his job here. There, and take down the name there, Ronnie. We like watching Ronnie scramble a little bit. All right.
You like doing that to him,
Yeah,
don't
I
you?
do. Wait, well, listen, you got to test your employees once in a while.
do.
We should say before we get cooking, Rick's also going to be back here November the 18th because we're going to be in Iroquois Falls for the Storm versus the Rock.
Yeah.
But
big,
it's Santa
big hockey
Claus
game matchup.
parade night, which, Kinsman, we love the Santa Claus parade, but Rick, and we don't know who he's bringing in, but they're going to be hosting the Santa Claus parade on the KINZ and KLOMP Show. How do you like
Well,
that?
we're
Kinsman?
up in Iroquois Falls working the game.
Yeah, he gets to pick another host, so who knows? Who
I don't
it
know
will be.
yet. I don't know. I'm going to do my best, though, to make sure that, because you guys have big shoes to fill for this.
Yeah, that's right.
Sandals.
I think I could do it.
You
yeah.
can.
I think you'll do a good
Get
job.
one of your comedy buddies in there.
That's
There
right.
you go. You can make fun of all the floats.
All right.
We would never.
That's the
Can
same
you
float they've
imagine?
had for the
talking about
last
here,
7
Kinsman?
years.
That's
Can't
right.
believe it.
Well, you can make fun of the KINZ and KLOMP float because we don't know what.
Yeah,
we're
we don't
doing.
know what our float
But,
will look like. But,
you know, you
guys
we'll
won't be
definitely
there,
have one.
Well, we're gonna have a float. We're gonna have a float.
Who's taking care of that, Ronnie?
Well,
Just pick Ronnie. Look,
my
Ronnie
father-in-law.
Yeah?
My father-in-law. He did it every year. So, we got news about Ronnie being on the show soon, but it's not Ronnie's night. This is Dare Timmons' night.
Yeah, Dare Timmons
That's
night
right.
and Dare classes. It's great to see that Dare is still being taught by the one, the only Rick Lemieux.
Yeah, you know what's funny is when I started Dare in 2002, and in my head I was like, oh yeah, 4 years. I'll get 4 years in, and then I want to branch off, and I want to get into CID and do all these. I did it for 16 years. I don't know what happened there, but
You're still teaching it.
and now I'm still. Then I got away from it for a little bit, and then when it was taken out of the schools, our Dare board here in our community still was heavily involved, and so I do an after-school program. We had to get special permission to do this because it's supposed to be a police officer teaching the program, and I'm no longer a police officer, but I am a trainer for Dare, so that's why I got special permission to go and do it.
So they're still giving you the rein to teach
do
the
it.
kids.
Yeah. I think a lot of it too is they need trainers. So for me to be a trainer, I have to continue to teach it because if you don't teach it, you're going to lose it. How can you train new people how to do Dare if you're not doing it yourself?
Yeah.
So it's nice that our board here in Timmins, who work in the background and get all this kudos for Dare, and I'm like, I do the program and I help out once in a while, but Like these are the people that do all the work for us to be able to do all these things in the community. But
again, the Francines of the world that make
always
sure
work.
things
Yeah.
can.
She's been
iron
getting
out.
more in front of the people though. Like before, nobody knew that she was doing all this stuff, and now she's like, I want the spotlight too.
Well, Leto, you got to get
There you go.
some
Got to
recognition.
give Francine some tooting of the horn, and again, if it
Tooting
wasn't
of
for
the horn.
Francine, it's now tied in with the Timmins Public Library. That's where these classes are going to be.
Yeah,
held.
so we rented the space from the library, and it's a good spot for parents to drop them off. And I'm going to do a little bit library promotion, also get a card, and take out some books about bullying, about making friends. So anything that Rick teaches you, definitely get a library card. Those are free.
Well, let's chat about what Rick will be teaching you. Tell folks who maybe never have registered their kids for DARE classes, what do they expect?
So I think there's a misconception that DARE is, I don't want to say just, but is a drug prevention program and no more. And that basically that comes from when it started in the 80s. It was a drug prevention program. I don't want to say it was fear-based, but it was like, okay, here's the information. This is what could happen if you do these drugs. Here's the health effects. Here's the facts. Boom. And they would give them some strategies and stuff. But studies were done, and it wasn't having an impact. So, of course, they've been changing it as we go. And the new program is different. It's not just about drugs. And in fact, drugs is only one lesson out of the 10. So first lesson, we talk about responsibilities, your responsibilities at home, your responsibilities at school. And parents like this because we talk about listening to your parents. We're trying to give you this good advice for responsibilities. Responsibilities are important for young people because if you're responsible when you're younger, you become an adult that's responsible. Then second lesson, we talk about tobacco, alcohol. And just recently, when marijuana became legal, we do talk about marijuana as well. So we give health effects and facts on those. And the lesson's about risks versus consequences. So basically talking to them about, hey, risks in life is important. Everybody takes risks. You got to look at the consequences before you take the risks. And we basically tell them, we never tell them what to do in any of our DARE classes. We say, listen, there's risks and consequences. You have to decide which risks you want to take. And if it's doing drugs when you're older, well, you know the consequences. So at the end of the day, if something bad happens, that's on you. You knew what would happen.
You knew it's your choice.
So there's that, and then we talk about resistance strategies. We go over ways that they could say no to peer pressure. So the whole lesson is about peer pressure and how to resist peer pressure. Basically telling them to be you. It's okay to be you. You don't have to change for anybody. Be yourself. And Retro Bill says it best. He says, be yourself, everyone else is taken. I don't know if you got that somewhere else, but I like it. Be yourself, everyone else is taken. So be you.
Got to worry about yourself first.
And that could go to everybody.
Oh yeah, adults, everybody. Yeah, just be you. I think you're awesome. That's what I try to tell them. You're great the way you are. You don't have to change for anybody else. Just be
if someone
you.
likes blue and everybody else likes red, so be it.
That's okay.
That's it.
I don't know if you want me to go over the other lessons. We talk about stress.
Bullying too.
So stress is a big one because I think as adults we forget how stressful it is to be a young person because we kind of think, well, what do they have to be stressed about? They're 10 years old. What's so stressful? But at that age, being part of a group, looking a certain way, all that stuff causes a lot of stress. The same kind of stress that we
Stress
feel,
and anxieties kids feel.
financially and stuff that we feel as adults. Well, that's just as bad for young people with their issues. So we talk about healthy ways to deal with your stress, which I think is an important lesson. It's actually my favorite lesson because I hear from all the students and hear what stresses them out, and we discuss ways to reduce their stress, and everybody helps each other with strategies. We talk about communication skills, how to be an effective listener, how to communicate confidently. Being able to say no to somebody trying to get you to do something you don't want to do. If you're really passive and looking at the ground, well, they're probably going to keep pushing you to do that thing that you don't want to do. But if you could demonstrate confidence and look them right in the eye and say, I'm not doing that. Doesn't matter how many times you ask, I'm just not doing it. So we could try to teach them that sort of confident communication skills. And then we talk about bullying. We also talk about getting help. We have what's called a help network. So they basically fill out, there's like a little circle. Peer pressure for sure. There's a little circle in the middle. They put their name on it. And then all around, they put all the people in their life that are part of their help network. So they put their mom, their dad, their grandpa, teachers. Teachers are on there all the time.
Police officers.
Yeah, police officers. All the people that they can go to for help. And then I get them to break it down a little bit. If you're having problems at school, who on your help network are you going to go see? Put a star next to that person for school and that kind of stuff. So they could actually associate that person, because it's okay to try to get that to, you know, get them to realize that it's okay to ask for help. Everybody asks for help. You don't have to do this alone. If you need help, you
don't
go
have to
and
feel
get help.
ashamed
No.
asking for help either.
No, if you need help, you go get help. And the last lesson is about being a good citizen. You know, helping. You ask for help, but also helping others, and being that person that somebody else needs. So that's why I like the program. It's just completely different. I know a lot of the people that are watching, or they might have taught them years ago.
Right.
So
well, I love the peer network, because as proud as we all are as parents, sometimes our kids won't be comfortable speaking to us because we are the parents.
Yes.
And sometimes we're either too easy or too hard on our children, because they're our children. So being able to speak to a guidance counselor, a police officer, a teacher, a leader can probably see things a little bit differently than we do as mom and dads.
For sure. Well, we have what's called the Dare Box. So cause every class, the students could ask questions, but if you're too shy to ask a question, or if you want to see me about anything that's stressing you out or any problems, they could write it on a piece of paper
and throw it into this box.
They put it into the box before class, and then I read the question and I answer the question for them. Or if it says they want to talk to me after class, we wait till the students leave, and
it's
then
anonymous.
It's
too.
anonymous, yeah. So this way here, nobody knows who's asking the questions. So a lot of young people can get their answers that way.
That's a great.
There was an awesome comment, Ronnie. Can you scroll up a little bit? We're putting him under pressure again here. Scroll up there, Ronnie.
That's from Bria there.
No, keep
Just
on
under
going
Dare
up.
Sweater.
Keep on going up.
Way to go, Bria.
Keep on going up, Ronnie. Right there from Jill Hardy.
Jill-
There's many great comments, by the way, but this one caught my eye.
Jill says this, my kids are adults now, and I am so thankful for having them participated in the Dare. They learned a lot and opened up conversations at home.
Hace calor, mi piel morenita de tanto sol. Día en la playa lleno de arena, mi ojo tornasol. Y sí, hace rato no me sentía así, tan bien, tan chill. Días grises ya no existen aquí, la luz a mí. La tormenta hace rato ya pasó, déjame pongo un poco bloqueador. Ey, porque ahora es puro brillo, brillo, brillo. Desde que te fuiste puro brillo. Ahora estoy bien fresh y solo brillo. Nada me tropieza, esto solo empieza. Porque brillo, brillo, brillo. Más feliz sin ti es mucho brillo. Me siento bien linda y solo brillo. De dentro para afuera, brillo a mi manera. Cuando me miro en el espejo, le tiro besitos a mi propio reflejo. Ay, qué bonito empezar de cero, pero esta vez con el pie derecho. Y si me tira mala vibra, bye bye. Que pa' los héroes ya no tengo ni time. Estoy en Barcelona pasando la guay. Vivir así se siente bien nice. Y si me tira mala vibra, bye bye. Que pa' los héroes no tengo ni time. Estoy en Barcelona pasando la guay. Yeah, yeah. Porque brillo, brillo, brillo. Desde que te fuiste puro brillo. Ahora estoy bien fresh y solo brillo. Nada me tropieza, esto solo empieza. Porque brillo, brillo, brillo. Más feliz sin ti es mucho brillo. Me siento bien linda y solo brillo. De dentro para afuera, brillo a mi manera.
In one Walmart, my bike got stolen when it got dark. Extend our trailers and we drive skidoo. That's what we intended love to do.
I promise to protect downtown. Eat at Siva's so I can stay round. Yell at bad drivers every day. At Hollinger Park is where I play. 101 is still my mall. See the murals? We have it all. Animal tours, it's all set. We want our jobs back at KidMet. Shania Twain Center, it went under. How about another Stars and Thunder? New pool, will we ever get? Hockey brawls here make me sweat.
KINZ is a place that we call home. English speaking and the francophones. 8 months of winter, well, it ain't so bad. Lights on a talking, all making me mad. 2 McDonald's and a 1